It's time for To Your Health. Joining me today is Dr. Lorraine Maida, a functional and integrative medicine physician who practices anti-aging medicine, executive health, hormone replacement therapy, and weight management. She's the author of Vibrance for Life, How to Live Younger and Healthier. Dr. Maida is here today to discuss how to avoid illness with stress reduction. Welcome, Dr. Maida. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me, Joan.
So, Dr. Maida, we are a stressed-out society. Many people are living extremely stressful lives, and stress seems to make any condition worse. What is the connection between stress and the immune system, and what kinds of illnesses do you see when a person has chronic stress?
Well, we're designed to fight or flee. That's what stress is. You get the outpouring of adrenaline, but it also get the outpouring of a hormone called cortisol, and that has a profound effect on the immune system. So if you have all of a sudden somebody tries to slam you into your car and you averted an accident, all that outpouring of cortisol is going to occur, but then it stops and cortisol should go down. But in our 24/7 society, we're constantly plugged in and turned on. That stress response never stops. So this cortisol just keeps going up. That depresses your immune system. But the problem also occurs when you get burned out. That's stressed out. And then when you don't have enough nutrients and the stress is chronic and unrelenting, the cortisol starts to drop. In the initial stages, you might get more cold, but when the cortisol drops, you lose all control. So that's when you start seeing chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, autoimmune disorders, inflammation, depression, memory impairment. And that's where a lot of people with post-traumatic stress disorder are. So it doesn't matter if the stress is acute, you get a cold or a flu or an infection, but when it's chronic, you go on to some of these other illnesses, which can be devastating for people.
Dr. Maida, we're so used to the way we live our life, and we may even tune out how we're feeling. So how can a person know if she or he is experiencing stress and the things that you just discussed when we've adapted to the way we live?
Well, you know what, Joan, you're absolutely right. People just don't think they're under stress, but they don't realize stress is not just mental. Stress could be physical. If you're too hot, too cold, having hot flashes, or if you're in pain. It could be metabolic with blood sugar swings and mood swings. It could be hormonal. It could be infectious. It could be toxins. So stress, anything that your body feels is out of balance, the body is going to react like it's under stress. So sometimes you just don't know it. If you have a pain, you live with the pain, you just think you're dealing with it. But under the surface, you're pouring out cortisol and you're pouring out adrenaline and you're draining your body of nutrients. So what I do to have people understand how their body is responding is I'll do a 4-point cortisol test where you spit into a tube 4 times throughout the day. Cortisol should be high in the morning, and it gradually goes down throughout the day, and it's at its lowest point at night so that you can sleep. So when somebody sees their cortisol curve, like yesterday, I just had somebody that bumped up between 4 and 5. I said, what happens then? She goes, oh, my God, that's when my kids come home. So, she didn't realize, you just deal with it. You just do 20 million things, right. But you have to understand it's going to have a hormonal effect on your body.
Kids do that. But, Doctor, when we realize that this is going on, what is it then that we can do in order to boost our immune system and prevent illness?
You have to listen to your radio show, Joan, because it all starts with your attitude. That's why I love this show, because we can't change the stress around us, but we can change our reaction to it. It all is driven by your attitude. I remember a professor saying somebody spilled wine on her white shirt on the plane, and she says, I'm not going to let my cortisol go up over this, so it's stained. I'm going to laugh about it. So you can change your reaction to something that happens. Don't make it doom and gloom. But we have to train ourselves. We have to learn better coping strategies. Maybe reframe the situation. Change your attitudes and belief about it. You can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. So if your mind says it's a stress, it will be a stress. If your mind said, oh, it's no big deal, it won't be a big deal. But I always have in my cabinet, I'm armed with adrenal adaptogens, which act kind of like training wheels for your cortisol. Doesn't let it go too high or too low. Things like magnolia, philodendron, relora, ashwagandha, L-theanine. L-theanine is one of my favorites for anxiety because it just doesn't have any side effects and you can take a lot of it. It just gives you calm alertness. It doesn't drug you up. And things such as plant sterolins, called Moducare, that can regulate the hypothalamic pituitary axis, and that feeds into the adrenal glands. Because the adrenals don't get fatigued, it's your brain that gets fatigued. It's the feedback loops. Because if you have a constant stimulus, you're just going to turn it off because it's just too much to bear. Find the root cause of your stress because you don't know if it's metabolic, hormonal, infectious, toxic, or mental. And get a 4-point cortisol test. It's so revealing, Joan. Everybody marvels at that.
Dr. Mehta, thank you so much for being here and for this reminder about how much power we actually do have over our own health. If you would like to get more information about this topic, you can visit her website, howtoliveyounger.com. And as always, to hear more from Dr. Mehta, you can visit our website, cyacyl.com/Lorraine. We'll be right back.